If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
That way. But what is going on, guys? How y'all doing on this Wednesday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here once again live here on YouTube for my live preview and predictions for WWE's Money in the Bank 2024. This is coming Saturday, July 16th. July 6th. July 6th, 2024 at Scotia Bank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. 5 matches set up on this card. Some very, very fresh matchups. Very fresh names getting opportunities. I think it's going to be another banger. Another really good show that could have some interesting outcomes for sure looking at this card. Some of these matches were pretty tough to predict. Actually, looking at all of them, there really isn't one that's 100% obvious. I'd say maybe the most predictable, maybe that 6-man tag match. I also could say is I have no clue what match is going to main event the show. I, of course, am predicting the card in order of how I think it'll happen, but there are not 1, not 2, but 3 matches that I think are candidates to main event the show. I think either the 6-man tag, even though I'd rather not. Well, the 6-man tag, the match itself, I'm not as excited about. But I am more looking forward to is what is actually going to happen and what's going to set up. Somebody I feel like is returning during that match. A big name is coming back. Who? I do not know. But somebody I think is. We have that. I think the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, I think, has a chance to also main event the show. Or the World Heavyweight title match with Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, which has a lot of stakes to it. Let's put it that way. A lot of stakes to it. That's going to be a very interesting outcome right there. Again, I do not know who is going to... I do not know who's going to come out of that match, the winner. Although I have my theory, but we will see what happens. But before we get into it, let's of course check our live chat. See who we got here to live chat. We just got Tyler. He's the hashtag We Want Becky. Don't know when Becky is coming back, but I'm pretty sure she is coming back to WWE. I think right now she's taking some time off, but I don't know when she's going to be coming back. Tyler said, don't have Randy versus Cody at SummerSlam. Orton has nothing left to do in WWE. And he also thinks that Seth is going to win. I still think you have to revisit the Randy and Cody feud. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they would do the Randy and Cody feud if Orton briefly wins the title. Kind of like how it was when he feuded with Drew McIntyre in 2020. It wouldn't surprise me. That's still not my number 1 pick, though, for a match for SummerSlam, though. It's probably number 3, I would say. Probably number 3. I'll tell you what my other 2 are when we get to that match. Any other comments out here? Nope, that is it. Just gotta get some Coke in me. Coca-Cola. Because I may tonight, because I am off the next couple days. I may do something else tonight. Not 100% sure if I will. Don't want to promise it. But I may do something else besides this preview tonight. But we're going to roll right in. We're going to talk about the show. And I'm going to give you my predictions as well. And we will see what there is to come. So again, I'm predicting these matches in order of how I think they're going to happen. I think we're going to open up with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. There's 6 women in this match, 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. Representing Raw, we have Io Sky, last year's Miss Money in the Bank winner, who successfully cashed in at SummerSlam on Bianca Belair and defeated Bianca and had a nice long title reign until she dropped the Bayley at WrestleMania. Also the upstart in Lyra Valkyria. And the second year in Money in the Bank, Zoe Stark. And SmackDown, we got, I believe in her first one, Chelsea Green. And in her first Money in the Bank match for sure, Tiffany Stratton. And I'm pretty sure she's been in multiple ones, but Naomi rounds it out as well. Looks like we got 4 heels, because I still consider Zoe Stark more of a heel, even though you think she's kind of a tweener, but and 2 baby faces. 2 like 100% baby faces of Lyra Valkyria and Naomi. A very fresh 6 women in this match. I do like the kind of, the mixture in there. I don't think there's as many, though, that I think have a chance to win as the men, though, if I'm being honest. So if I'm going in order of how I think of who the least likeliest are going to win, I'd say Zoe Stark. I don't think has a shot. I don't think Zoe Stark's going to have a chance at all to win this. There's really no big focus on her right now, other than her being Shayna's tag team partner. Naomi as well, because I think she's obviously being in a feud with Blair Davenport. Wouldn't surprise me if Blair does get involved in the match. And I definitely don't think Lyra's gonna win either. She's just new. She's still getting started. She's gotten a nice push so far, but it doesn't feel like that they're going all in on her quite yet. So I don't see her winning. I may... If I gotta go by my top 3, and even my number 3, I'm not too confident in winning. Io Sky, I think it's possible she may win and maybe come back-to-back Miss Money in the Bank winners. I don't think it's happening, though. I think they're going to focus more on this Damage Control storyline where she's kind of teasing a breakup of, or Damage Control going in a completely different direction. But I don't think she's actually going to win Money in the Bank. I think the only 2 that actually may have a chance. My number 2 pick is definitely Chelsea Green, because we are in her home country. Plus 2, character-wise, I feel like she would make a great Miss Money in the Bank. I feel like whoever wins... I feel like this year feels like, to me, whoever wins the women's Money in the Bank contract is going to have a little bit more of a longer-term run with it. And the men's, I don't think it's going to be as long as it was this past year with Damian Priest. But I think Chelsea has a shot. My winner, though, is still Tiffany Stratton. I still think Tiffany's going to be the one to win. Again, I think she still... It'll be a while until she cashes in. She is doing some sort of a storyline with Nia Jax right now as the princess to the queen of the ring. So I think, give her some time. Maybe I can see her maybe around WrestleMania season or something being the one to cash in. I don't know if that'll lead to, her being a face and, and taking out Nia or what it's going to do. Because I still feel like Tiffany, even though she is, clearly meant to be a heel, I feel like she is going to connect more with the audience. And people are going to want to actually see her take out Nia. So it could lead to a babyface turn, who knows, eventually to cash in. But I'm not sure what the direction's going to be. But I think she is still my pick to win out of everyone in this match. Like I said, either her or Chelsea, I think, actually stand a chance. Chelsea, again, has the character. I know not so much the in-ring, but she has the character. And I still think you can give her time with the briefcase to kind of build up, a little bit more as well. Give her some more time on TV. Again, whenever she gets a chance to, strike gold, she does strike gold. But I still think Tiffany is the favorite to win in this match. She's got some great momentum to start off with on the main roster. She's young. And I think, she will benefit from having the briefcase. But that's just my thoughts on that one. That's how I think we will open up the show. The second match I have is this 6-man tag match with Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens teamed up to take on the Bloodlines, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. Solo Sikoa claims himself as the new tribal chief. Tonga Loa is the new right-hand man. And then there's Tonga Loa as well, who's also another loyal member. Now, of course, we just recently did have the debut of Jacob Fatu, but apparently because of his record, Jacob Fatu is not able to travel to outside of the United States. So he will not be at Money in the Bank. Now, as I said in the introduction, this is probably the match I am the least excited about, if I'm being honest. I mean, it doesn't really interest me that much. I think what I'm more intrigued, though, is by who's going to show up in this match. Because I think there are 4 possible outcomes for this match. Well, either way, the Bloodlines win it. The Bloodline has to win this match. I'm sorry. Solo Sikoa, again, I love, how he has become, this new... He's basically, at WrestleMania was tired of losing, and he got extra serious, and he built his own bloodline that can believably dominate the entire company. I think within the next year, we will see Solo get the world title at some point. We will see Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa get the tag titles. Don't know what's going to happen with Jacob Fatu, although some people are concerned that Jacob Fatu may get a lot, who's called his Solo's enforcer. A lot of people are worried that Jacob Fatu will be more over than Solo is. Which, honestly, because of the lackluster booking he's gotten since he lost to John Cena, I can kind of see why. But I think to get it back on track, you gotta give the Bloodline this victory. Either way, though, it's gonna happen, I feel like. But there's 4 outcomes I can see happening. Like 4 things to fall out from this match that I can see happening. The first is it will earn Solo a title match against Cody at SummerSlam. I thought we were going to get it here at Money in the Bank, but like I said before, if you did the match at Money in the Bank and Solo not get like a big win here, I couldn't see him winning the title. I feel like they need to give him like again. It's like a few months ago with Liv Morgan. You gotta give him like that one. He's got the momentum, but he needs that one last little push. I'm feeling before I could believably see him winning the world title. Now, if he goes to SummerSlam, will he win the title? I think there's a chance, but I'm not 100% certain that he will win the title at SummerSlam if he goes on to fight at SummerSlam. But that's the one outcome I see happening. I also think the second outcome could possibly be The Rock returns to set up him versus Cody at SummerSlam. I still want that to be the main event at SummerSlam. I'm getting these inklings, though, that it may not be happening, though, if I'm being 100% honest. It may not happen based off The Rock's schedule and his recent little injury. I really don't want them to hold that match off for WrestleMania because I think this year has to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock. And I feel they've already planted the seeds a little bit. But I just feel like that's more of SummerSlam. If not at SummerSlam, I'm guessing Rumble. Because again, I still think, and I pitched this many times, and I talked to some people last night at Trivia about this, and they actually think it's a good idea. I still think Survivor Series needs to be the new Bloodline. Solo, Tama, Tonga, and Jacob taking on Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and The Rock. And again, The Rock turns on Roman in that match, costs the old Bloodline the match, and that's what sets up for the match at WrestleMania, which has to happen this year. So The Rock could return. I also think there's a chance that Roman Reigns could return. I still think Roman's going to have a match at SummerSlam against who, I'm not sure. But I feel like, at this point, especially it's going to be interesting since Soul's now saying that Roman's not coming back, and they already kicked Paul Heyman out of the Bloodline. I don't know, because you see, the thing is also like I just feel like that they wouldn't bring Paul Heyman back that quick. Like with what they did with Paul Heyman last week on SmackDown, I more so see this as a thing where they would come back at SummerSlam instead of Money in the Bank. Like, I feel like, the write-off needs to be a little bit longer than just 2 weeks, if I'm being honest. But I also don't think they're going to leave Rowan off the card for SummerSlam. They could, you never know, but I don't think he's going to be left off the card. So, that's another outcome. But, of course, the fourth and final outcome I could possibly see happening, and I still think this is starting to get a little more likely. It's not my number one pick. I think it'll either be... Well, the fourth outcome is Randy Orton turns heel on Cody Rhodes and sets up for the match at SummerSlam. You've seen recently, Orton eyeballing that championship. Or they could maybe do a thing where, Randy's like, hey, you said you owe me a lot. Why don't you do me a favor and give me what I deserve, a title shot for that or something like that. I don't know. But I still think that's probably going to be the match if Rock doesn't come back. Although I think we're either going to get Cody versus Brock, Cody versus Solo, or Cody versus Randy at SummerSlam. But either way, the Bloodline have to win this match. They have to win this match, in my opinion. But we'll see, of course, what happens with that. So there's that match. The third match that's happening is this Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker. Now, Bron Breakker's had a great run so far on the main roster. More so getting to some enhancement matches when he briefly signed to SmackDown earlier in the year. But then got drafted to Raw in the draft, and he has just been on fire ever since. Having great matches, great segments. It's come across as explosive. Although, yes, I'm not a fan of the theme song at all whatsoever. I think the theme song is really dumb. Thanks a lot, Def Rebel. Do I think he wins the IC title here, though? I don't know. I personally still think... Now, here's the thing. My thing is if Braun was a babyface, I would say he probably definitely won't win this. Because I feel like, you gotta be careful with babyfaces that you don't make them look too strong, that they already feel like someone, like the guy to beat. Braun Breakker is a heel right now, and I think you can get away with him, just mowing through people and becoming like a guy to beat, pretty much. I still feel like, though, there's more to this story. I know Ludwig Kaiser apparently has a rib injury, but I think it's not quite as severe as they thought. And Sheamus is still involved with this. I still think at some point we're still going to have that fatal four-way. So even though I'm not really a fan of them doing this, I feel like they're not going to have Sami lose the title just yet. But I don't think they're going to quite put it on Braun either. Especially also since they're in Canada, and Sami Zayn is from Canada. I feel like they might want to leave the belt on him just a wee bit longer. But I also don't see Bron Breakker lose it either. So, I'm going to say it's a no contest. I think they're going to do what they did on Raw. They're going to make it look like Sami can beat Braun. Make it obvious that Braun can beat Sami. It looks like Sami's about to beat Braun. And then interference happens with Ludwig and Sheamus. And I think that's going to set up for SummerSlam, this being a fatal four-way. Now, they can still have Braun win and do a fatal four-way, but I don't know. I just don't know if they're going to quite pull the trigger that fast on Braun, or give him just a few more weeks and it had the big moment for him at SummerSlam when he dethroned Sami, as it looks like it's probably going to happen. So that's my pick for the IC title match. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We got Jey Uso representing Raw, Chad Gable representing Raw, and Drew McIntyre representing Raw. On SmackDown, we've got Carmelo Hayes, him, Andrade, and L.A. Knight. Yeah! That is a very fresh, stacked lineup in there for sure. I think all 6 of these men have a case and a reason to win this match. There has to be one, though. There's 3 of them that I think has a very, very, very strong chance. One of them that I think, could. He's like a wild card, but I don't think it's happening. And because there is going to be interference in this match. There are 2 guys that are obviously not going to win this match due to interference. The first one, of course, is Drew McIntyre. I feel like CM Punk will interfere in this match and cost him the briefcase for what could possibly be the main event of SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. I also think LA Knight is going to luck out by having Logan Paul interfere in the match and cost him win the briefcase. And then we do Logan Paul and LA Knight at SummerSlam about time, and Logan Paul drops the title to LA Knight. Yeah! As he should. After that, my number 4 pick to win would probably be Andrade. I don't think Andrade is going to win, but it's still possible. You never know. He's still back, just getting back. He's still, just seasoning back in, which so far, fine. Not like, off the charts exciting, but still putting on great matches and, doing fine. I think he does fit in well with this crowd. If we could do my top 3, if they are going to give someone a longer-term run with the briefcase, I think, Carmelo Hayes would definitely be someone who could benefit from a long-term run with the Money in the Bank contract. He was the number 3 draft pick on night 1 of the 2024 draft. They have given him matches against a lot of big names that have made him look really good. Was Money in the Bank going to hurt if he gets it? I think that one has a chance. And then the other 2, it's very, very tough. Jey Uso and Chad Gable are the 2 favorites to win the match. Jey Uso right now is probably one of the most over talent in all of wrestling right now. That entrance is freaking amazing. The fact they kept the fact that he just runs through the crowd, parties through the crowd. We have the Yeet Flies that I'm sure will come into a story later on with him in the Wyatt 6. And someone this hot, you gotta give him something. You didn't give him a world title. You didn't give the Intercontinental title. You didn't give him King of the Ring. I feel like this is something he should get. But then there's Chad Gable. And Chad Gable is literally performing some of the best work I've seen, not just out of him, but anybody. And I feel like he's someone that you also really got to throw a bone. I was disappointed he didn't get the shot to do it at WrestleMania. Again, I love Sami. I understand completely why they made it be him to want to dethrone Gunther and for him to get this run being the IC Intercontinental Champion going into all these international countries. I get it. And he's done a phenomenal job with it, of course. But Chad Gable, there's still something to him that I'd like. He's doing great, but I want him to get more. I want him to get more. And I feel like the storyline with him saying he wants to, do what Otis wasn't able to do, that is actually good to kind of work out a long run and get more heat on him. And heck, could be kind of a way to get Otis over more too. If Chad Gable would win Money in the Bank. And get this, Gunther is having the world title match at SummerSlam. What if Chad Gable cashes in? Even though it's weird because you would kind of have to turn Gunther face then. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But, shoot. It would make sense, though, for Chad Gable to cash in on Gunther because he wants to prove that he was able to do what nobody else thought he was able to do. That's beat Gunther. But also, again, make him look good because he was also successfully doing something that Otis was not successful with either. So, if Gable wins, it's going to be a brief run with the briefcase. If Jey Uso wins, I feel like he's going to hold on to the briefcase long term and just wait till they find the right opportunity. But I still think Chad's my number one pick. I'm sorry, it's just that I feel like, they've done such great character development with him. It's just like, what else is there really for him to do for him to earn some sort of a championship? So that's why I'm going to stick to my gun and say that it's going to be Chad Gable winning. I think he's going to win, but again, I could definitely see it being Jey as well. But again, what he does with the briefcase long term, we'll have to wait and see if that's the case as well. It's getting a little sleepy, but we're hanging there. And finally, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Stipulations are, if Damian wins, Seth cannot challenge for the world title as long as Priest is champion. If Seth wins, then Damian must leave the Judgment Day. The winner, of course, faces Gunther, the winner of the King of the Ring, at SummerSlam. This is hard. I really like the story, how Damian Priest is saying he wants to prove himself, and he claims he doesn't want the help, but he keeps getting help, and he wants to actually prove that he is not just a transitional champion, and he wants to fight one of the best, which is Seth Rollins, which on paper, again, that's great. It's tough for me to pick a winner though. Because, again, I would like to see Damian Priest get, like, a big win over someone like Seth Rollins to give him more momentum and to solidify him more as a legitimate champion. However, though, we are way, way, way too close to SummerSlam. And although, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest sound like a good match, I just feel like... I just still feel like the bigger match to do is Seth Rollins and Gunther. If I'm being real, I think that is the better match to do. But I hate to see Damian Priest kind of get that short stick. But I'm sticking with Seth. I think Seth will win because I also feel like there's just more mileage to the story if Damian would lose. And he has to leave Judgment Day. What happens after that? Will he become similar to bum-ass Corbin? Or, could it be something different? I don't know. But that's a hard one. Like I said, I feel like there's more mileage if Damian would lose. But, again, at the same time, I don't want him to be just like a transitional champion. Just my opinion, though. But yeah, that's going to do it. I kind of fly through that faster than I wanted to. Again, I think Tiffany's going to win the women's Money in the Bank contract. The Bloodline will win the 6-man tag. I think this IC title match will end in a no contest. Set up a fatal 4-way. Chad Gable wins the men's Money in the Bank. And I'm going to stick with it. I think Seth Rollins is going to regain the world title, and he'll drop it to Gunther at SummerSlam. Live chat. Let's see what we got here. He said AJ should have been in that spot with Cody at SummerSlam. I don't think it's happening, sadly. Don't do Solo versus Cody or The Rock versus Cody. Def Rebel sucks at songs. He thinks Drew's going to win the men's. You never know, he still could, but I still think Punk is interfering in it. I would like to be an LA Knight, but it's going to be Drew. Just don't say Jay. And I did, of course. Come back, Charlotte. She probably will be back earliest SummerSlam, latest Survivor Series. This should be called In Your House Money in the Bank. Why is there 5 matches? Triple H likes to give them the time. So just 5 matches? I have no problem with it. Right? But I think it's going to do. So, guys, I don't know if I'm going to do my other thing tonight because I am starting to feel a wee bit sleepy. I am off, though, tomorrow and Friday from work. So I am going to try to catch up on some stuff while I'm off. And hopefully get a few more things to you guys. But we'll see. Give me a few minutes. I may change my mind and do what I was originally going to do tonight, which you'll find out here very shortly. But if not, then have a great 4th of July, guys. Enjoy Money in the Bank on Saturday. I am going to a Pirate game, though, Saturday afternoon, so I may not get to watch Money in the Bank on Saturday. When I'll watch it, probably sometime Sunday, and review it Sunday or Monday. We'll have to wait and see, though. But, guys, that's going to do it. I'm going to check out. This is my preview for Money in the Bank 2024. What are your guys' thoughts on Money in the Bank 2024? Who's winning the contracts? Anybody returning in the Bloodline tag match? We'll have to see. You guys' thoughts again down in the comment section below. Be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Again, right now I only have TikTok, so you can follow me at TikTok at the Club of the Man 93. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night, and do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself, and that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!